Alright, hello everyone, Costin here with more World of Warcraft Wrath the Lich King Classic Beta. There are a bunch of quests that I want to do, and then I want to go do the Nexus. So what I want to do here is to do the pre-quest basically for the Nexus. And then do a quest run in the Nexus, then move on probably to Dragonblight or to the eastern part. Of this entire zone. And the reason is, like, you know, one of the problems is, believe it or not, one of the problems that actually exists in Wrath is that you don't really care. Like, if you start with any decent level of gearing, you don't actually really care about a lot of the gear that that you can get from Borean Tundra or Howling Fjord. Like, if you're fully geared up with Sunwell Plateau gearing, you won't give a shit about gear until, like, I don't know. Let me guess, Costin is not happy with the beta. Well, you know, this might surprise people, but I actually think Blizzard is going in the right direction with Wrath as opposed to TBC. Like, I think the way they handled TBC was not great, but, like, I am cautiously optimistic, if you will, about the current state of... I'm cautiously optimistic about the current state of Wrath and what Blizzard's gonna do with that. Like, I'm the kind of person who's not gonna mince words and hold back when it comes to criticizing a company, but it's like, yeah. However, what I do wonder is, like, okay, so I'm doing these quests right now, and it's, they changed their mind about quest tracking, so what are they gonna do with regards to that? Are they not gonna add it in? Are they not gonna add quest tracking in? Or what are they gonna do? Like, the one thing that I will say Wrath has a significant advantage over TBC and Vanilla is that Wrath is significantly more fun to play in terms of class style, right? The individual classes are a lot more interesting to play. The rotation, the abilities, etc. They will add it at some point. Yeah, I guess. You know, the problem is I feel Blizzard listens to a bunch of content creators who... Yeah. Sadly, I don't think I'm gonna have a similar situation to the TBC one, unless Mr. Devcamp and Melderon, unless Devcamp and Melderon show up. Let's see. So yeah, I kind of feel like, yeah, like I kind of feel like when it comes to all of this, that what's gonna happen is, like I feel when it comes to Wrath, like, it has a lot more potential. The problem with Wrath is of a very different nature than the problems of either TBC or Vanilla. The problem with Wrath, if you will, is the fact that half the game's content is, half the raiding content specifically is not that great. POC is not a good raid. Actually, it's not that it's horrible, it's rather the fact that you have to do it 3 times a bloody week. That's the problem. And Nax 2.0 is not a great rating tier. Those are the issues. Also, the 5-mans, well, it's kind of a shame actually. The 5-mans have some really good design in them, but they're just way too damn easy. So therein lies, those are some of the problems that do exist right now when it comes to Wrath. But if they do buff the 5-mans, or if they introduce, like, I know, a mythic mode for 5-mans or something like that, It does feel like Blizzard is aware. Also, I think Blizzard is aware of one of the problems that exists in raiding, in that you're pretty much forced to do both 10 and 25 man raiding constantly, which is not a great experience, by the way. Like, if you're a 25 man raider, you have to clear 10 man every week. Now, I understand some people really like 10 man raiding. I don't. Like, it's fun sometimes, but it's not fun as a mandatory thing that you have to do all the time, right? Especially if it's the same raid. Like Karazhan and Zoloman, yeah, that's a different discussion. But even those get tedious and tiring in TBC, honestly. Like, we play an MMO, we want to play with a lot of people. That's one of the main goals, actually, of all of this. So, Northern Caldara reading. Then I want to kill more spell weavers. There's one. So what you want to do, by the way, if you start with any decent level of gearing in Wrath, is you want to, well, Crusader Strike is a retribution ability. It's still a retribution talent. It's not, this is not Cataclysm. In Cataclysm, it becomes a baseline ability. Alright, so I need to get some excess mana essences. Oh, that guy's chasing me. Like that here. And the damage is actually reasonably high. And there's a bit of lag because the servers are NA. Feels like. Well, I guess I know how the Australians feel. I played with a bunch of Australians not too long ago. Stopped doing it because, well, streaming time is making more sense. How do I hit above bar abilities of our mouse? Keybinds! I really want to get add-ons working, like details and LVUI are two of the essential ones. No, I don't understand why some people, why quite a good number of people really dislike LVI. It's like, it's just basically an add-on pack, more or less. Like, we used to have those back in the day. Oh, for whatever reason, my... let's see. Interface panel, open all bags. For some reason, this didn't get saved. Okay. Yeah, I'll be happy when I can get my LVI running. So, what do I need? So I need the Northern Caldara reading, which I think is there. Then I need the Nexus reading, which I know where it is. Then I need to kill a Spellweaver. There we go. Then mana essences. And that's not going to be too much of a problem. Right now, I'm about 700k. Is it 700k? Yeah, it's 700k. Into it. And let's see, played. So... that's not going to be useful. Yeah, played is not going to matter right now. Because obviously I do have the TBC played. Well, I've played... I have 12 days played on this character. I didn't really bother with TBC. I played a lot in the pre-patch. Played some at max level. Didn't even get professions, really. It's like, yeah. For me, the breaking point is like, do I really want to do the grind in TBC just to do Kara and fucking Gruul and Mag? And then it's like tier 5 like 2 months later. It's like, no. Nope. I may have started something. Hold on. Sorry, the wrong video. So I need the Nexus worms. I need the geological reading from the Nexus, and I need the Nexus worms. So far, like, this is fine pacing-wise. The thing is, right, it's like there's no one here. There's only a limited number of people in the beta so far. It feels like very, very limited number of people in the beta. And I mean, you can find groups for 5-mans. That I didn't struggle with getting a Nexus group when I streamed. There's also this flickering on the UI for whatever reason. Yeah, I know that was gonna kill me. It's all healer based. Feels like right now there's no healers. You know, this is gonna be one of the problems with no RDF. Is that there's not gonna be healers available for 5-mans, because the problem that exists, right, is healers like dual spec is 75, I believe. I'm not certain. I certainly know that it's not available for me right now. I also don't have the goal for it. Don't care. I'm a tank. I'm a paladin tank. I don't really care about dual specking. Question about weapon choice in pre-patch. I mean, ideally you would have a slow weapon, but honestly, I just go with any melee weapon. They'll do the job. Like, the one thing that does matter JML is like getting a... like, the main thing that actually matters is like getting a weapon with a high weapon damage, because that's going to affect your Hammer of the Righteous damage. That's the most important thing, I feel. So I do feel like that's what you want to go for. Like, it doesn't matter if you get the fast or slow weapon. What's most important is getting a weapon with high weapon damage. If you can get a weapon with high weapon damage that's also slow, then obviously that is the most ideal scenario. But that's not, but you're, a lot of the times, even with like RAF weapons, like RAF raid weapons, you're gonna compromise. The best in slot tanking weapon in tier 7, for instance, is Last Laugh, and the reason it's best in slot is because because you get like, I know, 200 damage difference between it on Hammer of the Righteous and the second best weapon, which is the 4 Horsemen weapon. But the 4 Horsemen weapon is slower, so you'd think that it would be better. But the speed only really... the speed of the weapon only really affects your Seal of Corruption damage. The reason it affects your Seal of Corruption damage is that slower weapons have higher damage, right? On them, higher baseline damage. Not weapon DPS. And Seal of Corruption is based on... based on your weapon damage. Not your weapon DPS, your weapon damage. So you end up with a slower weapon, you end up doing more seal damage. The thing about seal damage is that it's not the most important part of your threat. Your Hammer of the Righteous is far more important. Hammer and Shield Slam, of course. By the way, if there is an issue with prop paladins in RAF, it's the following. That you have the potential to be very strong, but the problem is you need to get all the talents unlocked, and you need to get all of the... yeah, you need to get all the talents unlocked, and you need to... Okay, so that's gonna be some gloves. Are they better than the ones I have? Somewhat, yeah, they are. Because they give me more defense and hit. Like, yeah, these gloves I probably use until max level. Though the ones I have are nothing to laugh at, but yeah, they were crap piece in TBC, so they're not really going to be that great in RAF either.
Go with honor, friend. Light be with you.
Okay.
Be careful.
So this is how fast, yeah. You do want Seal of Command. Right now, you can't get Seal of Command and Hammer of the Righteous until you're 71, though. And since I made a whoopsie when I spec'd and I put 2 points in spiritual attunement, for me it's gonna be 72. And then you want the glyph for it, so that's also gonna be a factor. Anyway. Am I missing a quest? It kind of feels like I'm missing a quest. So I've got 1, 2, 3 quests already for the Nexus. There is a 4th one for the final boss. I don't really need to do that though. Alright, so right now I'm 780,000 over there. Okay, so I need to kill those, destroy those eggs, but for that I need to get the axes. The axes drop from these guys. No, not these guys, there's a different type actually. But these kind of melee mobs. But I need the axolotl ones that are in like the western part of the map. Oh, actually they do drop axes. Okay, fair enough. I wasn't mistaken about that at least. Can you go over your talents? No, I'm not gonna do that. It's and nothing personal, but people would usually ask me that fucking thing during the TBC beta. It's like I made a whole comprehensive paladin guide with talents and all that. You can check that out. I'm using the talents that I listed there, minus the retribution ones because I need the levels for it. It's nothing personal, but it's like I'm sorry, I'm not the QA I'm not the this is not question and answering session over here when it comes to things I already answered in previous videos. I might die here. Or not. Good. Prop pallet damage. Well, that guy might kill me. Yeah, and the problem is Ardent Defender is actually kind of useless right now until you get to a higher level. We'll see. It's okay, that dropped. But there isn't much to look over talents. 51 points protection. Yeah, Hammer of the Righteous. Is Proud Warrior tank better tank and Raf as in TBC? No. Warrior was and remains the worst fucking tank in Raf. And that, by the way, was clear even on Rinta. Well, right now the water is like... right now you gotta understand that I have practically no mana whatsoever, and the water is designed to give me 12k, and I'm like sitting at 4k, so yeah. No, this won't last. As I gain levels, mana regen will obviously fall off compared to what I already have. So anyway, I have 4 axes, I just need 1 more. I'll be happy for Shield Slam, but that's 74 sadly enough. Once I get to 71, I think I'm just gonna go... Divine Play is 71 if I remember. I hope I'm not wrong on that. Because I'm gonna head over to Ogromar and pick it up once I get 71. I really want Divine Play. Because, yeah, as fast as drinking is, it's always fucking tedious to have to drink. Okay. Hopefully this works. And whereas with Divine Play, you almost never have to stop for... you almost never have to stop for the sake of... Their aggro range is annoying. I'll do a whole video on how I feel about the beta, like once I get to like, I know 72 or something like that. Maybe tomorrow or something like that. And by tomorrow, well, today is Friday, so I mean Saturday, really. Today is Friday here in Romania. Oh, more eggs. Tomar. There's a whole question you want to do here. The reason is, like, for instance, as a tank, I want these boots. I want these gloves. And I want these shoulders as well. Maybe, actually. Hold on a second. Do I want these shoulders? Kind of. Yes. Are they better? Very, very slightly, and you have to count for the gemming. But yeah, technically, I'll pick them up anyway and use them, but... Yeah. Or maybe I won't use them. So you're gonna replace tier 4 gear pretty quickly by looks of it. But keep in mind, these are dungeon quests, you should expect. So elite quests will give you gear that's pretty much on par with it. In the first zones with tier 4. Tier 5, tier 6 is gonna last a lot longer though. Because even if the stats on certain gear pieces are better in RAF, you always have the enchants and gems, which obviously gonna give you an advantage. So let's get the spear. Yeah, it does work. Resilience does work in RAF. I actually intend to use it. I mean, it's a smart thing to rely on resilience because sure, you're not getting the avoidance, right? So that's kind of crap, but ultimately, like, it's not worth sacrificing the stamina for it. So I think for the entirety of Wrath of the Lich King, I'm probably going to use the 20 resilience chest enchant. Some people question that, but my perspective is simple. It's like, yeah, either that or I'm gemming for it, and it's like... Alright, so I need to get a hatchling. There's one. And can you imagine how this is gonna be with hundreds of people roaming around here? I can tell you it isn't gonna be a pretty picture. There we go. Alright, so I've gotten him under my control, but it's only 3 minutes, so I need to get out of combat with these guys, mount up and head over. That power sap ability is fun. Comes. There we go. Helmet-wise, gonna pick that up. Yeah, we need the Shimmering Runes, cracking the code, so we need the Arcane Codex and the Shimmering Runes. This can be annoying, so I'm curious to see if it's gonna be a guaranteed drop over here, by the way. And if it is a guaranteed drop, I hope Blizzard doesn't change that, because, like, I really hope they don't listen to the crowd. It's like, oh, this is not how it was. Yeah, fuck that. It's like, changes, boys. Make some changes, because I might bite the bullet, so to speak, over here. Pulled a bit too much. See if Ardent Defender saves my hide. That didn't even proc. Alright, so it's not guaranteed, sadly enough. Oh, that's gonna be fun. I feel quest items should be a guaranteed drop, because if they're not a guaranteed drop, then it's gonna become a problem real quick to level up. Because again, a lot of people, same people in the same in the zones, etc., etc. Which is gonna be a problem. Now, my goal here is to actually kill that guy. If I can survive for... Yeah, that's Ardent. No potions, sadly enough. Tell me that the codex dropped at least. That's gonna be a lovely one. Stun it. Hit it. 3% HP. Anything? Come on. Ooh, that was close. Yeah, I know I pulled a lot, but still. I actually should run around with Righteous Fury. Oh. Well, the respawn is fast at least. Keep in mind, I'm the only one here. I certainly maybe one other player that I've seen so far, so it's like, yeah. The reason there's not that many people here is that to get here you actually need to do a pre-quest. Or you need to die in a very specific spot. Okay. There we go. Yeah. No, that's good. It feels like Blizzard is really learning from its lessons. I think it's kind of sad. Like, it does feel like they've hired new staff as well. Like, the guy from Blizzard who contacted me and gave me beta access. There's a whole story in that. I'm not going to share it, though. But he apparently had been hired by Blizzard, like, less than a month ago, actually, so... Alright. So I need to go to the coil. In order to do that, I need to kill 2 named mobs. So right now, I'm 90,000 out of 150,000. So that's another player right there. Not that many people. I know a lot of people won't bother with leveling in Wrath. This is, by the way, going to be a problem when it comes to finding dungeon groups or anything more than like 72 dungeons. So I think I'm probably going to be stuck on Kahet and Ajol Naruk for a while. Probably. Not certainly. So I need to kill these 2. What do you think, boys and girls? Should I go back to TBC, start preparing for Wrath? It's probably going to be in like a couple of months or something like that. I don't think it's actually going to come out. Like, I'd be really shocked if they released Wrath in August or something like that. And they've also said 1 month like they've also said they're going to give people 1 month with fresh. So maybe they're gonna give people 1 month with fresh. Well, we're in July. Let's assume that. Let's assume fastest case scenario I can see with this. The beta lasts 1 month, maybe a bit more. Then they release the pre-patch at the beginning of August. Though I feel it would be better served if they released it at the end of August, honestly. So. At least for Classic Fresh, it would actually be better served if they did something like that. Oh, great, I'm in combat. With the mob, I don't even need to fucking kill again anymore. That spawning is really fast. It's just something you need to worry about. Like, it's like, if you kill the named mob, you need to move the fuck out of the way quickly, because he's gonna come back with a vengeance, and he's gonna take your head. Yeah. We'll see. But from my perspective, when it comes to like release date, etc., look at it from this perspective. So they've already stated publicly they're gonna give people a month with the pre-patch with the pre-patch, or they're gonna give people on Classic Fresh servers a month to get to 70. Okay, fair enough, right? Very fair enough. However, so that's 1 month people will have. Okay, all well and good. So that means there's no chance of it releasing in August unless they were to release it right now, and since the beta literally just came out, you have to give the beta at least 1 month, right? Give the beta at least 1 month before the pre-patch. I think the TBC beta was like, what, 2 months that they had it going? So you can assume the TBC beta is probably going to last like 2 months, like until late August. And then they're going to release the pre-patch in late August probably. And so we're looking at maybe late September, October. It's either going to be September or October that it's going to come out. If I was a betting man, I would put more money on a release in September than October. But maybe, who knows? Maybe Blizzard is not rushing things anymore. Maybe they've decided to actually take their time and handle these things in a better way than they have so far, because they absolutely rushed the release of TBC, and it fucked TBC over in so many ways. A summer release was a disaster, and I think a lot of people, even in Blizzard, knew that, but they did it anyway because quarterly financials. But things have changed. Things have changed. They're getting a big pile of money from Microsoft soon enough, assuming regulators do allow the deal to go through. Which, you know, I'm not sure how I feel about these mega companies going in the gaming industry, but from my perspective, I do feel it's bloody bullshit to allow Disney to happen, and then it's like, oh, we're not gonna allow Microsoft. We're not gonna allow Microsoft. I'm gonna use this trinket. Actually, I think I'm gonna use both these trinkets. Actually, like, I think it's a better decision for more threat. I do think it's pretty bonkers what Blizzard is. All right. So bait and switch. All right, we need mana shards over there. Those are the crystals. Like, it's actually interesting. Like, every enemy that you see here is like, every enemy has like their own. They're useful for one quest or another. And then you see like these crystals over here. They're useful for a quest as well. So it's actually a pretty solid questing zone. Like, this was actually far less painful than I imagined it would be. I've done this questing zone several times. Multiple times, numerous times, and this is, I think, the best I've had it. Like, hopefully when Blizzard makes changes to the beta, and we know they're gonna come, I hope that whatever changes Blizzard makes, they're cognizant of the fact that they need to make the leveling experience faster, smoother, and easier. Because people don't give a shit about that. And this is going to be important for Fresh far more so than for existing realms. So I think like leveling needs to be smooth, easy and all that. Because otherwise Fresh is just going to be dead on arrival. Like, this is one of the things that really killed Sam, I feel. People would say like not having world buffs, but I don't think that's really the case. Yeah, sure, some hardcore raiders didn't care about that. And that a lot of guilds didn't form because of that, but yeah, Sam is just like dead. But I think like just asking people to level in vanilla all over again was like too much. I mean, that's one of the reasons I quit with Season of Mastery. One of the primary reasons, actually. There's a reason to use PDPS. What do you mean PDPS exactly there? One of the things to be cognizant over is Seal of Command is 71. Physical. There is, yes, because you have Hammer of the Righteous, which is a significant portion of your threat, far more so than Seal of Command. Also, Seal of Corruption is also based on your weapon damage, so yeah. Okay, I'm gonna call her in. Let's go. I think I'm gonna get the Fury of the Crimson Drake, actually. It doesn't matter, Vuk. It doesn't really matter how many weeks people have. It's like, oh, you'll have this many weeks until Wrath comes out. Okay, that's reasonable enough for people to level. The thing is, though, and I'm gonna be blunt about it, people don't give a shit about leveling. So, yeah. And the first servers will be open in pre-patch, so maybe they won't be so that. We will see about that. I'm a bit skeptical, let's say. Like, one of the things to understand is like if there's one thing I'm skeptical when it comes to RAF, it's like I'm concerned that classic French is just gonna be gone, dead on arrival. Is there an elevator? Yes, there is an elevator there. I think I need to take this elevator. Like, I don't want to play on the existing servers because I think they're a genuine misery. And I think Blizzard has realized that, yeah, they are a genuine misery. Okay, so... I need to talk with her and she's gonna teleport me up, isn't it? Where did I leave her? I'm just gonna have to wait for a cooldown. I think I will be rolling on a fresh server, but it's like the thing I'm concerned about when it comes to fresh, it's like, and this is a genuine concern, it's like I'm just afraid that what's gonna end up happening is that it's just not gonna work out very well. Like, I don't think the population will be all that great. That's my major concern when it comes to that. Because, like, a lot of people don't want to level anymore through vanilla content and all that. So, that's gonna be a major... Like, I guess if Blizzard did give us, like... Imagine if Blizzard gave us, like, level 60 characters, though, to start with. Anyway, let's talk with her, turn that in. I suppose. I'm not neither positive or negative, I'm a realist, fundamentally speaking. Fundamentally, I don't give a crap one way or another about about people's feelings. Like, I want to... We'll see about that 90 days. They've said that they might change, that they wouldn't necessarily do that. I feel like if you're gonna allow character transfer, and I don't think that there's an inherent problem with character transfer, but here's the thing. I think it's fine to allow character transfer even earlier than that, but no gold. Like, just zero gold. Zero gold, materials, all that. You can transfer gear, but you can't transfer fucking gold or enchanting materials or crafting materials or any crap like that, right? So, yeah. That's where I stand on that. And I certainly hope, like, if Blizzard allows people to transfer characters with gold, it will be JKP mania all over again. I need to wait for this, by the way. I think I need to wait. That's gonna be a problem. You will see. We will see how it all goes down. This is the beacon, right? Like, pretty damn certain that this is the beacon. Maybe it's not, actually. Well, no, that's the one. It's gotta be the one. That's gonna be really, really annoying if that ends up being a genuine bottleneck. Not gonna lie. Okay, let me do it. Well, this is certainly a nice RP event, but we're gonna land soon enough. I think I'll take this two-hand sword just so I can sell it. I don't need the fiery prod. And I just want to do all these quests. Alright, let's see if we can find a healer. Huh. Good luck with that, I guess. DK, DK. Well, there's Windjammer. Okay. Interesting. Let's go. Yeah, I'd say probably dungeoning is gonna be very, very fast. But it's hard to say because it really depends. Like the fastest way to level will heavily depend on what you're doing in turn, like how the quest spawns are, right? How miserable it is to do quests, etc. But even so, like people have done calculations, right? And they figure out that even in a scenario in which even in a scenario in which everything goes perfectly from a questing perspective and then you're doing things very quickly, you're still going to be slower than if you were than if you're dungeon spamming. So that is a factor that has to be brought to forward. Okay, let's go do it. Bugs there, by the way. Yeah, with his talents, I can't see his talents. Hey. All right. Red plates would be awesome indeed at this particular point, I gotta say. Though, to be fair, this priest is we're just gonna kill this shit. Do it nice and quick. You know, the biggest problem I feel a lot of people are gonna have when it comes to leveling in Wrath for dungeons is that they're just gonna do the dungeons way too fucking quickly. There's the book. Okay. He needs a bit of mana, I feel. Eh, I'll be fine. Just give him a second. Welcome to the dungeon experience of Wrath of the Lich King. It's a joke. Now granted, the guys who I'm with are pretty well geared, but still. Bots show up because they have to. I swear, like, you know, if I was talking with YouTube CEO right now, there would be a lot of things I would want to mention, but one of the things at the top of my fucking head, can we get rid of these bots that just start abusing the naming conventions? Dual spec is probably, like, I don't know how dual spec works, but I think it's like a level 75. Once I get 71, I'm gonna go to the trainer and I'll see what's available. But I think it's 75, and you need, like, probably 1k gold to get it, which I don't really have at the moment. So yeah.
Now to finish the job. Damn the...
That was not necessary at all. I mean, yeah, I guess if you're leveling for dungeons, you would do that group, I suppose. But fuck it. This is, by the way, not a good dungeon for the sake of leveling. The mobs just do too much damage and they're too annoying. I'd recommend doing Nexus quest run probably if you want to go out of the way though. Anyone in the beta that want to give me like 10k gold? By the way, you can copy your characters multiple times. You can make a lot of gold. But I only have like 500 gold on this Paladin TBC, so yeah. Keep in mind, these guys are not necessarily Sunwell gear. Like, they're tier 6 geared, sure, but I don't think they're Sunwell geared, actually. Yeah, he's got 2 Cataclysms. How the fuck do you get your heads on 2 Cataclysms Edge? You know, I want to answer. I want to have an answer to that question. It's like, what the fuck did you do? Like, what? Did your guild run out of people to give that to? That is genuinely something I want to know. It's like, this guy has 2 Cataclysms Edge. It's like, fuck yeah. It's like, I'm like, you know, arms would be better for leveling. It's like, no, not with this. Some people like love fighting Archimon for some reason. Archimon is fine as a boss fight. That's not the problem. The problem is getting to the fucking bastard. Pick up a... Oh, damn it. I have to pick up... No, I have it there. Come on. Nope. Fucking warrior, fury warrior with 2 Cataclysms Edge. Just like, what the fuck is this? I think that's the most bullshit thing I've seen in a long time. What's gonna be next? 2 shaman, a shaman with dual wield best in slot caster weapons? Oh, we're dead. Maybe. Maybe we have so much... Okay. So much damage that we can kill him before the healer runs in. That's so bizarre. Kinda annoying me. Oh, we got the arcane splinters there. Even 2. Okay. there we go. And I think this entire run will put me at 70, 71. Getting 1.3k experience per mob, that's pretty decent. Yeah, if you're playing a tank, any tank, I don't give a crap what you are, you want to get jewel crafting for the trinkets. The trinkets are best in slot, and you'll be using them until Old War. And good luck getting trinkets in Old War. There's only 2 bosses that drop stamina trinkets, although you might get the Brewfest trinkets, which would be really welcome. If that's the case, you won't need jewel crafting, but all the same. I guess it depends when Wrath comes out. Like, if Wrath comes out at the point where Brewfest is going to be around the corner, you won't give a shit about jewel crafting trinkets, I guess. Thanks, guys. We really didn't need to pull that, but we did anyway, so congrats. The Darwin Award goes to us. I'm gonna trigger the boss, by the way.
There's no truth in
It does have a tail spot. Can't... What? Why? Oh my gosh, I can't taunt. That was annoying. That didn't work. Is Hume. No. Did I forget to do any quests? No, I did all of them.
Dragon Queen. Life binder. Preserve me.
Well, GG, boys and girls. GG. Okay. Well, with people that have Black Temple and some of them Sunwell gearing, if things didn't fall over, I'd question our sanity. Keep in mind, where people are fully raid geared with enchants and all that. Like, yeah, you should expect people with fucking full tier 6 or Sunwell Plateau gear or a combination of them to do to do this shit very fast. Right? Like, if they weren't, it's like, what the hell? Because this stuff is designed for green gear that's worse than tier 4. So. And the rewards that are giving it, that these dungeons give are equivalent. The rewards are equivalent to tier 4. So, yeah. People like that are 2 tiers or even close to 3 tiers ahead should just curb stomp the crap out of this place. That's reasonable.
How are you?
I feel.
See you later.
Get that in.
Need help? Light bless you.
There we go. I'm gonna use these boots. Gonna use these shoulders. Yeah, I know I'm losing the 15% holy shield damage, but fuck that. That's irrelevant. Let's see what else can I get. I don't think I'm gonna use the shoulders, actually. Yeah, use the gloves. There we go. So if Brewfest, you can run. It's an interesting question. You could run, like, I don't really know what to tell you in that respect. You could just, like, if you're purely tanking, you could simply just stick with, mining, actually. Like, you could just have mining, because mining gives you a stamina bonus, right? So if you're just tanking, it's like, do you need anything else? Not really. Blacksmithing might be a good choice, because you do have a bracer enchant that gives you, what is it, 60 stamina? I think it is. No, that's leatherworking, actually, for lining, sorry, that's leatherworking. But you do get 2 sockets, and that's ultimately gonna end up being worth it more than mining. But that's with, like, TOC, I believe, that you'd wanna, yeah. What about Proret? It's like, I guess, like, if you really care about it. But here's the thing. If you're, like, it depends on how much you're doing, though, as a tank, right? Like, if you're tanking 90% of the time, do you really give a shit about min-maxing your Retribution off-spec for the 1-2 bosses where you might play Retribution? I personally don't think so. Like, by the way, that's one of the annoying things I've seen in some guilds. Like, oh, can you build a red top spec? Okay, what do you want me to use it for? Oh, we want you to do it on 1-2 bosses. I'm like, fuck that. It's like, no thanks. So yeah, that's my view. But if you're interested in Retribution, for Retribution, blacksmithing is solid. Blacksmithing is solid. Hell, even leatherworking can be really good. Or inscription, actually. Inscription can be really good because of the shoulder enchant, the better shoulder enchant. So there's a bunch of choices available to you. But personally, I'd say probably blacksmithing, honestly. Because with the epic gems that you eventually get with TOC, or is it ICC anyway, they just end up being better. Although jewel crafting can save you a lot of fucking gold on gems, I can tell you that much. It's tier 4 gearing. Like, I'm tier 4 geared. Not much more needs to be said. Like, I'm Karazhan geared, more or less. It's not even tier 4 gearing. It's like, I'm stuck. This is interesting. Help? Hello? There we go. That's not what I want. There we go. That was a bit bizarre, I gotta say.
Hello. Safe travels.
It's not an open beta. It's invite only, I think. I think. I'm not entirely certain. Anyway, so that is done. I am 71, almost 72. A couple of quests done, and I'll be 71. Once I set 71, I'm gonna be doing a Jonarub. So this does give me an idea of what I want to do so far, though. I've also done a quest run of Utgard Keep, and I think it's worth doing that at least once. Though I really, really, really wish I had Atlas loot at this particular point, because I think it would be worth it. But from my point of view right now, actually let's see what level. I think Dragon Blight is 70... 72, could be wrong, could be 71, but I don't know. Trying to figure it out. Alright, hold on. I want to see what the quest requirement... Okay, you do need 72 for it. Fuck. That's gonna be fun. You could start Raft completely naked, Emily. Not Emily, Smelly. You could start Raft completely naked and you'd be fine. In terms of handling the content. So if you have full Vengeful, yeah, you would be more than fine. Like, the gearing guide that I made was specifically to have a gear set that people could build up before RAF comes out, so you can use it to tank raids in RAF. Raids. So, yeah. Yeah. Vengeful will be enough, although... damn it all. So do I really just wanna... Yeah, I'm gonna go to the east. I'm not sure if I want to play BM Thunder Tank, Death Knight, Rogue, Disgusting Stun combo. Don't play Rogue. If you intend on raiding, don't play Rogue. Rogue spots are always going to be competitive. Until Cataclysm. Like, in Cataclysm things will change for the Rogue, but until that point, in RAF people are only going to use 1 or 2 Rogues at most. Like, if you want to play a class that... where you can guarantee a raid spot, my view is Warlock, Paladin, Druid, to an extent, though not necessarily. With Druid, it's not because that there's a lot of raid spots for Druids, it's more so there's not enough fucking Druids, even for those limited spots. And I expect that that a lot of guilds will struggle to get 2 Boomkins, which is something that they probably will want. So from my point of view, if you want to play a class to have an easy time to get the raid spot, which is fundamentally what is important for a lot of people, because I can tell you from personal experience, I've been in the position of struggling to get the raid spot purely because I was playing a class that wasn't needed in large numbers, and I've seen it firsthand how people have suffered from that as well. Warlock, Paladin, Priest, I'd say Priest, Druid, and maybe Mage. Yeah, maybe Mage, though I am a bit hesitant to include them in this as well. Just keep that in mind. Alright, so I want to do all these quests over here, because I want to get to 72. It's probably in my interest to do as many of these quests as possible.
Greetings, traveler.
Looking for something special? Be careful.
Alright, I'm gonna need to go to Gramash Hold to pick up a quest, by the way.
Ah, I've been expecting.
Oh, never mind. It's like loading up is the important one. Yeah, all resto shamans are rolling into that. Fun fact! So it's like resto shamans have realized that they're gonna be awful in TBC and they're not gonna be the kings anymore. And it's like they're re-rolling to the new meta, which is Holy Paladin. Funny. Feels really cathartic in a way. And actually I realized that I was wasting my time flying here, because the quest that I need is actually one that I already have. There is a quest chain that you do start over there, over here, that you need to do. That brings you into the Dragon Blight, by the way. And you want to start doing that stuff because it opens up a bunch of quests. It opens up the Wrathgate quest, which you want to do. It opens up a bunch of stuff. Like, this is probably the closest to an like, from a questing perspective, this is what you want to do. You want to do Amber Lodge, regardless of whether, like, if you're just completely starting fresh, yeah, you do want to do some of the quests here around the landing zone. Like, if you absolutely have no gear going into Wrath, go do the quests around Warsong Hold and all that. But if you have tier 4 gear or above, ignore that. Unless you need a weapon or something like that, maybe you would do the weapon quest, but whatever. Then go to Amber Lodge directly, then do the Caldara quest, then do a Nexus quest run. That's exactly what I did. In the meantime, if you can find a group for a Utgard Keep quest run, the quest will be acquired inside. Go do that as well. At the same time, that's a lot of experience. It's worth the travel time. But questing wise, yeah, you do Caldara, all that, and you'll reach the same point that I have here. Keep in mind that, or very close to it. And at this point, you want to start doing these quests in the eastern part. I think the Alliance have something similar, right? Like, they do have their own version of this, because this is a Horde location, keep in mind that. But as Horde, absolutely you want to do the quests here. And then you want to start doing quests that will lead you into the Dragon Blight. You want to enter the Dragon Blight at least 71. And that's kind of annoying, because like, even with this gear, like this crap gear that I have, which is tier 4, I don't give a crap about Borean Tundra anymore in any way, shape, or form. So it's like, I just want to move on to the Dragon Blight where I'll actually get gear upgrades. And then you want to do Dragon Blight, but what you really want to do is you do Dragon Blight until you're like 74, 75, and then you go start doing Zoldrak. You can go for Grizzly Hills, but yeah. And fundamentally, like, if you have no gear, you want to do Storm Peaks and Ice Crown. You want to start going into that quickly in order to manage it. I'd recommend people get a gear score add-on, not for anything else, just to understand, like gear score. I hate the system, but if you're completely naked, it can be useful. Like, once you get like 2.8k or 3k gear score, you can handle heroics, unless they mega buff them. Yep. 95%. With respect to that, Arc Fan, I have to fundamentally disagree with you on that, because 95% of raids in Classic have been about min-maxing to one degree or another. It's not, and the raids that haven't been min-maxing many of the times, it's not because they didn't try to min-max, it's because they failed to get the classes. People do min-max on all levels of the game. I'm sorry to say it, but it's the truth. It may not be the truth that people don't care. It may be a truth that people don't care about, but it is the fundamental truth that actually does happen right now in WoW. It happens on all levels of the game. I'm not like people say, "Oh, I'm a casual." It's like, what? You think casuals don't min-max the crap out of the game? It's like I recommend you play retail and see how fucking min-maxing every level of Mythic Dungeons is there. So yeah, it happens. People need to get used to it. This is how WoW is. The argument that the argument that people min-max so it doesn't matter is just complete bullshit. And also, you have heroic raiding and Wrath. So yeah.
What brings you here?
It's an argument I'm tired of making, but like I wish people just got their heads out of their asses when it comes to that argument. People min-max. Like you tell me people don't min-max, I can point you to thousands and thousands of guilds on Warcraft logs that do min-max. Possibly. Though I will point out that people min-max to the degree that they obviously want to build their raid around the meta, if you will. Is there no reagent vendor here? That's the one thing that I'm odd. There's a reagent vendor. That's so odd. Huh. Alright, I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm just gonna be right back, actually, just in a bit. I'm gonna take a small break, and then I'm gonna start doing the quests. Now, one of the things I will say about the healer comp in Wrath is that there's a lot more flexibility. Like, the expectation with healers is that there's generally a lot of flexibility when it comes to that. So I can tell you, for instance, that when I played in a raiding guild that did World War, we went from having 2 healers on certain bosses to having 6 healers on other bosses. The expectation was that people had dual specs, so elemental specs for shamans or enhanced specs, generally elemental. So elemental spec for shamans, shadow specs for priests, etc. The only healer that actually doesn't respec all that often is the Holy Paladin, because if you're dropping healers most of the time, you're like, if you're going with a 2 healer comp, generally you're gonna go with 2 Holy Paladins because they've got the best healing fucking output. I've seen 2 Holy Paladins 2-man heal Hodir, for instance, hard mode. That's an example. So I would recommend, so if you're playing a healer in Wrath, I would recommend, I'm just gonna say it, do expect that dual specking is gonna be mandatory on a lot of levels of the game for certain people. Like if you're a priest, if you're a resto shaman, maybe not if you're the solo resto druid, though it might happen in a couple of cases. And I wouldn't expect it for a paladin, because ret is not exactly the spec you want in a lot of raids. You don't want to stack retribution paladins, though you do want paladins. So those are the kind of factors. Tanking wise, if you're playing a proud warrior, a DK, or a feral druid, do expect that as well. If you're the main tank, the main proud paladin, don't. Maybe a couple of cases, but very, very rarely, and I don't think it's worth it worrying too much about it, but yeah. So. Anyway, be right back. Yeah, I think, and I'm back. I do think that it's going to be, oh, man, do I really want to fucking quest without, oh, questing without quest markers? It's like, dear. That's fun. Are these undead? Yeah, it should be undead. Exorcism, baby. You know, someone pointed out to me that I was a bit wrong in the spec that I made, that it would have made sense to like only spend 2 points in conviction and then just get 2 points in sanctity of battle. Can I get out? Yeah. Which actually makes sense, because sanctity of battle is gonna increase your exorcism damage. Like, it's both of them, both conviction and sanctity of battle give you crit, right, on all your abilities, but sanctity of battle also increases your exorcism damage. Exorcism is a very situational spell. Like, you want to use it if you're pulling a boss in a raid towards you, like if you are going to do a position pull. If you're gonna run in, it's not really worth using it, but I find myself actually using it during the middle of boss fights when I have nothing else to click. At least if the target is undead, right? Because it's a guaranteed crit if it's an undead. How's the feeling of the beta? Feels pretty smooth, to be honest with you. Feels pretty smooth. Like, performance-wise, it feels really smooth, which you expect with the modern client. In terms of, though there is lag because the servers are NA, so there is certainly a huge element of lag right now for me. There's bugs, for instance, Blessing of Sanctuary, which is like Greater Blessing. I can't cast Greater Blessing of Sanctuary on myself. Blizzard, why do this to me? Why? It's like, of all the bugs you had to bring in Wrath, it's like, and that's the one thing that I do find genuinely frustrating. So yeah, GG. Mana, right now I do have mana issues, but I'll get Divine Plea at what, 71? I think it's 71. Could be wrong, but once I get Divine Plea, there's not going to be mana issues. Like, the problem with Paladin and Wrath, at least from a Prot or even Red perspective, is like, yeah, you have a lot of power, but you need to get to a decently high level to actually unlock that power. Until that point, they're kind of crap. I do like how people are like, ooh, Exorcism is really strong for Warrior. No, not Exorcism, sorry. Like, Pro Warrior is really strong. It's like, yeah, rats, you figure out Revenge, and you figure out the spec with Sweeping Strikes. Congrats, Warriors. Trade Shockwave for Sweeping Strikes. Is that worth it, though? I don't know if it is, actually. Revenge is absolutely worth it, but, yeah. I need... No, I got the Sinkhole. Okay. Let's see if I can find a broken machine. Questing as Prot is really good. Because obviously you have significantly higher survivability. You have very high damage as Prot. And keep in mind, I'm using a crap weapon. This is literally one of the first weapons you can get. So this is not a good weapon. Like, yeah, questing as Prot is really strong. Though you do want to get Seal of Command. The problem is you can't get Hammer of the Righteous and Seal of Command until you're 71. Where is that machine, though? I don't know. No, I'm not really geared. I didn't play TBC Classic past the first month of it or so. Actually, I think it was 1 month and a half. So yeah. I'm tier 4 geared, basically. So I need to go south, I think. I could be wrong on that sentiment, but I am wrong on that sentiment. Where am I? No, could be around here. I just don't remember really. Okay, I need to find this out. This is one of those quests I need to do. Southwest, okay. I mean, I didn't like it. I didn't like the way they did TBC. I didn't like doing tier 4 over and over again. So yeah, screw it. Like, I like TBC, it's just I didn't like the way Blizzard handled it. Like, if tier 5 had been released at launch, maybe that would have been a very different discussion. But even then, I'm sure the gold bid run meta would have gotten to me. So, yeah. I'm not gonna lie about how I feel about it. It's like, to a large extent, I don't like the way Classic has ended up being. I would like it if Classic Fresh succeeded, and in the fantasy scenario on Envision, we wouldn't have all the issues. The server issues, the gold bid run issues, etc. But yeah, that's kind of... Probably a fantasy scenario, right? We'll see. You know, the thing is, I can be a fairly hardcore player myself, but I'm not the speedrunner. I don't really care about it. Like, for me, speedrunning is whatever. Actually, one of the guys in, one of the officers in Bakers told me, like, oh, you seem like the kind of guy who was more about execution. Yeah, that's fair, actually. That's how I feel. Let me just get this guy back. Yeah, I'm gonna go fresh Raf, see how it goes. Or I'm tempted to, I'm not sure. It depends, because I have my issues. I have my concern about, like, the viability of fresh Raf. My concern is that it's likely going to be a season mastery situation, which is going to be dead on arrival. But we'll find out. Some people are saying, well, there's going to be a lot of players coming into Raf, right? Yeah, but for all the people that are going to be in Raf, my perspective, if you will, is that... Why does he have a parachute?
Yo,
There
be
we go.
good. What's up?
That's a nice
Have
bug.
a good one.
What brings you here? We shall hail. Go in.
Alright, so I needed to drop that totem and then mana consumption is pretty high, isn't it? Using the glyph of Hammer of the Righteous just to increase my just increase the number of targets that I'm hitting at the same time. But I'm probably gonna drop it and get Seal of Command glyph. It's not a glyph you usually use anyway. Almost 2 hours in, give or take. Obviously, I've been AFK, all that kind of stuff, but yeah, I think it's 4 hours per level that it currently takes to at least early levels, right? And I can tell you, I'm not being efficient at all, really, here. I'm sure some people will figure it out. So I need to see Fitzcrack. I think it's that right there. Go explore, see what's out there. Go back. Oh. Do you think Ret or Prat is more efficient? I think Prat is more efficient just because you have more survivability. The Ret has a lot more mana sustainability. Because, well, you go in Ret, you see Judgments of the Wise, right? You get a lot of mana back. Actually, is it Judgment of the Wise? Yeah, it's just Judgment of the Wise. Also, I need to go here. Ah, there we go. There she is. Each raid will probably want to... Each 25-man raid will probably want to have, like, two Shadow Priests. One or two, one certainly, two most likely. That's where I stand on that. Prat is, I'm not sure about Ret. Depends on gear leveling, gear level, of course. But Prat absolutely is. Propala, highest damage dealing tank in all of Wrath. That's not an exaggeration. You know, it's nice to say that Prop Paladin is fucking awesome, and yeah, it's obvious why it's so fucking awesome. Mind you, with TBC, like, I had to argue why Prop Paladin would be as good. They ended up being the main tanks, more or less, or the mandatory tanks in every guild, but it's like... There was always, like, issues and all that kind of stuff, right? It's only with tier 6 that they've really come ahead. But with Wrath, it's like Prop Paladins are fucking great from the very beginning. Leveling wise, purely leveling wise, warriors are better just because the warriors baseline are better, but the scaling, it's like, yeah, once you get any decent level of gearing Prop Paladin, like once you get to 74, I think is like the point where things change. Prop Paladins just go way, way ahead. Now I'm annoyed by this because it's like, oh, you need to kill 10 of these, but it's like they're all spread out. There's nothing close to each other. Lovely. I could ignore it. I actually need the experience to level up. Can't just ignore quests completely. Imagine having to quest a level though. I could do dungeon runs, but I don't feel it's actually fast enough. Like, each quest is the equivalent of about, let's say, 10 dungeon mobs that you kill. That's probably fast, but... Depends on the quest, though. Don't bother with Howling Fjord, though. That's not the zone you really want to bother with. Maybe a couple of quests here and there, but the problem with Howling Fjord is the initial quest can be a genuine pain, especially if you have competition, which you most certainly will. Not saying that you won't have competition in Borean Tundra, you absolutely will as well, but all the same. Maybe I should pick up some food. Who knows? Just 56k healing, right? Oh, that's not exactly what I wanted to happen there. On rates are pretty decent though. Once we got that going for us.
How may I aid you? We shall meet again.
Look at that. So I need to get that plague cauldron. Strength is good as well. Weapon damage is important for Hammer of the Righteous, etc. Alright. Just gonna go turn that in. I think I'm just gonna stick in Crusader Aura permanently. There she is.
You wish to speak? May the eternal sun shine upon thee. Farewell.
Go kill some Scourge. Well, you're not using... Shit. Like, once I get 71, I'll just use Seal of Command. But right now, I'm using Seal of Corruption. With the glyph that gives me 10 expertise when I'm using it. I don't think I haven't heard anything. You know, I'm just gonna say this, Cannibal. There are content creators and then there are content creators. If there's anyone with insider information out there, it ain't people like me. I think maybe only people like Asmongold or something like that would get that kind of information. It's outside, isn't it? Or it's upstairs. Yeah, fuck, it's upstairs. Let me just go there. At the mercy of blue posts. Yep. Go up there somehow, but I don't remember how. It's not for here though, sadly enough, I think. Or maybe it is. Maybe I just climb up here. I haven't done this place in a very, very long time. retail. And there we go.
What brings you here? Farewell.
The Lich Lord is upstairs. I think the doctor is down here. They'll need to destroy 20 Scourge, might they? The doctor not there. There it. No, that's an abomination. Where the F is he? So I'll find out. The Oculus skinning meta, clearly. That's really gonna be the way to go. It's hard to say. I can't answer that right now, honestly. It depends on the server you're playing on. It depends on the spawn rates. So, like, what are the vein spawn rates? How many phases are there gonna be? All that kind of stuff, right? So it's like, it's one of those questions that you can't really answer. Like, if it's not too contested, I would actually say mining or herbing are actually really good gold getters, but I don't know. It really depends on how the open world looks like. Alright, so that's one down. Just got to deal with the Lich. Huh. Straff boosters. Yeah. I can't tell you right now. I don't think dungeon farming is going to be really effective in Raft, though. My personal perspective. I could obviously be very mistaken on that in that respect, but I do feel like it's not going to happen. Because which dungeon would you farm anyway? Like, yeah, sure, as a prop paladin, you can certainly do solo a lot of shit, but especially with raid gearing or a DK or something like that. But and if people tell me Oculus, it's like, yeah, but then skinning materials will be worth absolutely nothing. Herbing materials will actually be worth a lot more, as will mining materials. Sorry. That's where I stand in respect to that. Right, turning on all these quests will push me over the edge of 7. Need 2 more. No. I do think it's gonna be interesting because, like, there's plenty of ways to earn gold in Raft, questing, dailies, you name it, right? But there's no OP farm spot, right? There's no Zul'Farrak, Stratholme, or anything like that. Yeah, but that ICC dungeon comes out with ICC, so...
What brings you here? Walk with me.
Well, the thing is, consume, because you do have pre-potting in Wrath, and that's actually really important. I think potions will actually sell for quite a bit of money. So will gems. Necklaces as well, of course. There are ways to make money, but a lot of those ways are dependent on the open world, which we all know how that goes.
Hey, how you doing?
I do find it so weird that he is still buggy.
Keep it real.
The winds guide you. Walk with me.
Yo! What's up?
The winds guide you. Go in peace.
Well, that's 71 gentlemen. I am gonna go to Ogrimmar. Respec, get glyphs. So yeah, even for me, it took me about 4 hours or so, give or take, to actually get the levels needed, the experience needed to level up. And again, I wasn't really efficient in this. Probably could have done it faster. But on the flip side, I wasn't really facing any kind of competition whatsoever in terms of like questing. So there's always that aspect to consider. So 4 hours per each level, make it that bloody well.
Our enemies will fall.
Yeah, Divine Plea is there. I'm gonna respec.
The reckoning is at hand.
Okay, so dual spec is actually available from the very beginning. Oof, it's 1k gold. Dual specialization is 1k gold, but it's
Farewell.
available from
A new
70.
Belore
Maybe it's even
Delana.
earlier. I don't know, but it was certainly available. I didn't go to the trainer before that. Right now I'm just 71. I assume it's going to be available from There we go. Seal of command,
Victory
gentlemen.
lies ahead.
And I've gotten it. Now, seal of command isn't good because of what it does here. It's good because of a glyph. Yeah, it makes it so you regen mana when you use it. I think the barber shop is in, yeah. There's all these symbols around, though, that I haven't seen before. Not sure what they're representing. Is it just the festival? Can't say I remember ever seeing them before. Alright. So we get glyphs.
Hey there.
One of the glyphs.
Have a good one.
I was gonna get glyph of lay on hands just to get a cooldown reduction. And I'm gonna get that instead of Hammer of the Righteous. I don't need it anymore. Now that I have Seal of Command. Yeah, they're in a circle. Make it easier, right? To spot where you need to go. Okay. So I've gotten one of the most important abilities as a prop paladin, Divine Plate. Keybinds, sorry. Action bar. Let me put that on T. Actually, I'll put that on R. T goes there.
What are you looking for? Drink.
So yeah, about 4 hours for each level, 10 levels, 40 hours. Yeah, people will be max level within 2 days, even less honestly. Knowing how these kind of things go in the top guilds, right? It's worth saying that on retail, when Wrath literally came out, Insidia killed every boss. But they didn't go for Sarfarian free drinks, but they did kill Sarfarian 0 drinks. Every boss was dead within 48 hours. So I think you'll be fine. Yeah, I'm an equivalent of tier 4 gear right now, and it's pretty solid. Though you will need to go. You will need to go in each zone and see what gear you want to pick up from each zone, because you can get a replacement from the very first zones. Well, yeah, I mean, for instance, in this first zone, I've replaced, like in combination, like with the Howling Fjord quest, dungeon quest, like I've replaced neck, gloves, boots, and to be honest, the gloves and boots were pretty close to what I had already. So yeah, if you have season 2 gear, you'll be using it for a decent amount. Trinkets might be a thing that you replace quickly though. Trinkets and weapon. Might be. Are you talking about, like, I don't remember which one. Might be worth it just for the sake of leveling, but nothing more. But then again, you do get the Librum from block value when you're max level. Yeah, I take that. Feels legit. I think if I was gonna play this character in Wrath, I would possibly I would just do heroic dungeons. Actually, I think that would be decent enough. Do some quests, Netherstone, Black Temple, all that kind of stuff. DK start with no proficiency. Well, you can get first aid, I think. You get first aid, don't you, while you're doing the quest chain. But you don't have professions outside of that. Anyway. Well, it's more so a thing with the DK. It's not about the boost. It's more so the fact that the questing area, the starting zone itself, will give you a quest to level profession, to level to level to level first aid. Alright, and I would say that's enough for the moment. I am just gonna log off and for the night, and that's gonna be it for the moment. I got 71 in 4 hours. Decent enough, I feel. Cosine signing out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, enable notifications, and I will see you boys next time. And I will be streaming pretty much every day as I can the Wrath beta. Join the Discord so you can keep track of my streams much easier. Pinned in the comments.